Good morning. It's good to see you today. Come on with us to Genesis chapter 2. I want to talk about Adam today. Genesis chapter 2, I want to talk about Adam before the fall is what we're talking about. I want to talk about imitating Adam. Adam, our first point, let's make it this. Verse 15, the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to tend and to keep it. There is work to do in God's garden. And let's make that the first point. Before the fall, there was work to do. Sometimes people have the idea that work is inherently evil. That's not the case. In the New Testament, it says, work with your hands what is good. Work is not inherently evil. There's work to do, and we need men who are willing to step up, to stop living off the government, to stop mooching off of their family, and to get a job, to take care of themselves, to take care of their families, to take care of those who are perhaps in need. And there are those who are in need. Adam worked, and we need to work too. But also it says that God, it says at verse 18, the Lord God said, it is not good the man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. And I want to focus on that word comparable. And I would suggest it's more than just physically. It's more than just physically. The New Testament, it says, do not have fellowship with unbelievers. We need to find helpers. We need to find helpers who are comparable with us spiritually. We need to find spouses who we can pray together with, who we can worship with, who we can grow in grace and knowledge with, who we can be Christians with. We have fellowship in the family. That way, husbands, wives, one flesh. If you have people who are going two different directions, it's not going to work real well. He found a helper comparable, and we need to do the same. But also, it is a helper, and there is an element of working together. Any more husbands and wives, each one is getting pulled, it seems like, in their own direction. So you have husbands and wives, and each one has their own jobs, each one has their own money, each one has their own friends, each one has their own hobbies, each one has their own everything, and maybe they come together at the end of the night and sleep in the same bed, but that's all that's it as far as togetherness. And sometimes they don't even do that anymore. Husbands and wives are living in separate cities, separate states, whatever it may be, and they're never together. We need to understand, husbands, wives, the Lord, as He made Eve, she was meant to be a helper, a helpmeet, and we need to recognize that idea of working together. But also, has another point, the Lord takes the rib from Adam. And let's make this point. Husbands, we have to be willing to give of ourselves to our wives. That's what we have to do. We have to be willing to sacrifice ourselves for our wives. That is what the Lord did for His bride, the church, and that's what we have to do for our wives as well. And unless we are willing to sacrifice for our wives, then we do not truly understand verses 23 and 24 about one flesh. We have to be willing to give of ourselves. What we need to do, as it says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, we need to man up. Doesn't mean that you get to ignore your mom and dad, but we need to man up, and we need to be the sort of men that the Lord wants us to be. That's what we need to do. And when the wheels start falling off, that's the next chapter. When we don't obey God, that's when paradise turns into hell on earth. Think about it. Hope you enjoyed this study. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.